Hi guys, so some of you were interested in some farm updates, so I thought I would show you how the flowers that I first planted a couple months ago now, I think was when I did the other video, show you how they are doing, and then I'll show you actually how I plant new ones, and I'll show you my cedar, and then I will actually take you guys to the farm market with me. I'm just going to bring my camera with me to the farm market, and I'll show you what that's like. So this is my cedar. I've had this thing forever. My grandfather might even have had this before I was born, I'm not sure, but I just remember this thing being around forever. I've planted flowers with this thing forever, and basically it's a super simple contraption. Over on the side here there's a belt that goes from the front wheel to the little plate box, and the seed just gets dumped in here, and then when you spin the front wheel, the belt turns the plate and it picks everything up and it drops it right down into this little chute down here, which goes all the way down, and it comes out the bottom then. And then it just kind of, the chain goes along behind it and it covers everything up. And so that's how I plant my sunflowers, one row at a time. It's a little more time involved, but most things with organic farming are, and I don't really mind because I like using the cedar. It's a very handy little thing, and there's a bunch of different plates that I can put in because I use the same thing to plant broom corn and a lot of other stuff, so it's a very handy little contraption, and it's held up very well over the years. And then we just stake off the rows with a bunch of these little stakes. And then within a few weeks, you get the tiny little baby sunflowers just starting to pop up down the rows. So these are a few that I planted a few weeks ago. You can see how they kind of get bigger as I went back with them. Farther back they were, the more time they've had to grow, so the bigger they are. And so then it's just a matter of hoping you get enough rain to pop the seeds before the crows eat them all. Sometimes we don't, but the dream is to get enough rain before the crows get them. Usually do. Sometimes the crows get quite a few of them, but hey, that's farming. So it's you're 100% dependent on the weather, and there are no certainties because no matter what the weather says, the weather's going to do what it wants to do. It doesn't always do what the weatherman says it's going to do. So there's a lot of just planting and hoping. But in the end, everything usually turns out pretty nice, and you can see the sunflowers all coming up here. And once they finally pop, it's just a matter of cultivating in between all the rows to keep the weeds down every few weeks. And so these are the first ones that I planted a couple months ago, so they're starting to get ready here. I should be cutting them tomorrow to take to the farmer's market. So then this is my broom corn growing, which I also planted with that cedar. Used a different plate obviously, but yeah, I got a nice couple of rows of broom corn here, a little bit of mustard mixed in, but plant's real nice and everything comes up pretty good with it. Then the fruit trees are right across from the field, which makes it really handy if I get hungry and want a snack while I'm planting. There's a good one. No spray, just let them do their thing. End up with a few marks, but who cares? You know, you just cut those out. We make cider with them all the time. A lot of fun. Sugar's taking a breather in the shade under one of the apple trees. So then here's where I keep a lot of the other flowers. Just go along this fence the way up here with a bunch of flowers. In organic farming, we don't spray anything. I don't even spray flowers because I don't want that crap in my water. But you do have bugs. The bugs don't care if it's organic. That's the whole point. They like it if it's organic because there's no spray. And so there's, you don't spray anything with organic sprays. You actually have to go out and pick by hand all the bugs, or in the case of the red lily beetles, I actually used soap to spray them, and that seems to stop them pretty well, but you're out there by hand, one at a time, hitting the bugs one at a time. There's no crop dusting in organic farming. And I feel bad doing it, but they do chew my stuff apart if I don't. You can see this is an old one, so I haven't really cared if they chew on that one. That one's fine. And I've nicely asked them to go somewhere else, but they don't seem to listen to me, so I do have to come out with the bottle of Dawn and hit all the little red lily beetles so that they don't tear apart my flowers, because that's my livelihood. But it's non-toxic because, again, organic is the way to go. It's the only way to go. Keeps the water clean. So spray them with a little fish soap and it takes care of the problem. It's time consuming, but it works. This is Liatris. You got your Cosmos. A little bit of a Stilby. These are going to be my dahlias. Most of them are not on yet. Got a few, but these guys are early. You can see the buds. Dahlias. Gloriosa daisies. A lot of people confuse these with black-eyed Susans, but they're not. They're a little bigger and quite a bit thicker, so these are Gloriosa daisies. This is some white Liatris. And then these are some lilies that are in bud. Some nice phlox. One of my friendly neighborhood pollinators doing her work on the flowers here. She's pollinating the clover now, but she does my other flowers as well. She's got a whole bunch of friends. Actually got a hive that I captured quite a few years ago. So my car is fully loaded. It is just before 7 a.m. and I am heading down the road for the farm market now. The Canandaigua farm market's about 15 minutes away from where I live, and then the Victor farm market is between a half hour and 45 minutes depending on how many red lights I hit. So neither one of them is too bad of a drive. Canandaigua one you have to get up early for, obviously, so I only get a couple hours of sleep the night before. So I have to get up at 6 to be here, and I'm usually going to sleep about 3:30, but the Victor one I don't have to leave the house till noon, so that's pretty nice when you've been. It's a nice view on the way. It's Canandaigua Lake in the background. I don't know if it shows up on the camera or not, because I'm not watching, I'm driving, so can't really see what's going on the camera, but you can see it. The big blue spot is Canandaigua Lake as I head toward the Canandaigua Farmers Market.
So slow. We used to sing.
Well, I'll be
So I hope you guys have enjoyed traveling to the farm market with me and seeing a little bit more about the farm. I will see you guys on Thursday with the next cosplay project.